Never mind. Hey, Yuko, what's this all about? Oh, Hisao, Hanako was just looking for a book on... nothing. A book on nothing? In the non-fiction section? I was just... I shoot a glance at Yuko. She looks like she's about to burst from the pressure of keeping Hanako's request secret. Yuko, what did... Chess! She's looking for a chess book! I make a mental note to never entrust Yuko with any important information. Yuko! I'm sorry, Hanako, it just slipped out. Well, it's not a secret anymore. Come on, I'll give you a hand. I should really brush up on my skills too. Oh, okay. Yuko disappears behind the counter in shame as Hanako and I wander into the depths of the non-fiction section. I know there is supposed to be a system for categorizing these books, but I don't see how anyone can decipher it without spending half of their life researching it. It's probably why all the librarians I know are so neurotic. Towards the end of the aisle, between a book on card tricks and a book on kids games, stands a single book bearing the title Chess Tactics for Champions. See. Oh, I'm just gonna give up. Before I can reach for it, Hanako has the book in her hands, clutching it to her chest. I rip it out of her hands and hit her over the head with the book. Mine now. Sorry. I am sorry. I'm being a bit silly today. I don't know why. Well, I guess that's yours then. Mind if I borrow it when you're finished? Sure, I just haven't really played against anyone but Lily before, so I thought... Damn, it's not like I was trying to beat Hanako deliberately or anything, but she seems to have taken it to heart. That's why you always let the girl win. Come on, bro. There's a Life Lessons 101. Then again, at least this means she wants to play me again. That's a plus, right? Huh, well, it's not like I'm a master or anything. I just played it a bit before. It's not like I was MLG chess or anything. It occurs to me that I haven't told Hanako about my condition. I falter for a second, deciding to cover my tracks. That is a conversation for another day. Before I came here... are you alright? Yeah, I was just remembering something. When I think about it, I shouldn't be afraid to tell Hanako about my condition and my time in the hospital. Judging by her scars, she probably spent a fair amount of time in a hospital bed. But for some reason, I can't bring it up, at least not today, and not on short notice. Eager to break off the conversation, I grab a random book from the shelf. Looks like it's gonna be kids' games. Oh, no, World's Fastest Roller Coasters. Published in 1982. Well, not very up to date, but it should at least be interesting. Well, we've both got books now. Should we go sit down? Hanako seems to accept my bluff, and we head to the reading nook in the back of the library. Neither of us says a word, we simply open our books and start reading. I try to read my book, but it would seem that in 1982 roller coasters weren't nearly as large as the ones built in the decades since. Most of the ones listed are made of wood. Something about that doesn't seem safe to me. If I'm going to ride on something potentially dangerous, I want it to be made out of steel or some kind of space-age alloy that has big words like titanium and ruthenium. Ruthenium? If that's a word, then I don't know what it is. I genuinely don't know what it is. I quickly lose interest and my eyes wander across the reading area to rest on Hanako. Hanako seems absorbed in her book, flicking back and forth through the pages as if confirming what she just read. I wonder if that's actually effective or if she's overloading herself. She's unconsciously brushing her hair from her face, temporarily revealing her scar tissue. I'm still not sure about the protocol here. Is it right to ask about her scars, or her past? How long was she in the hospital? Does she still visit the doctor? Well, you don't just go straight into a question like, hey, so those scars? You know, you sort of build up the conversation and then you slowly slip that word in there. Or, you know, something, I don't know. These all seem like questions that you'd ask someone who just transferred to your school, translated into the local language. But today, no one has directly asked me any of them. Well, except Rin, but I don't think I should use her as a guide to proper social behaviour. You sure? I like her, she's awesome. For the time being, I'll just keep my mouth shut. If someone wants you to know something, then they'll tell you. Trying to force the issue might drive Hanako back into herself. Sorry to interrupt, but I have to close the library now. Already? I checked my watch. Somehow, as I was lost in thought, nearly 2 hours have passed. Do you want to check out those books? I can do it on the way out. Please. I'm done. I'll drop this one back on the way though. It wasn't as interesting as I first thought. Oh. Lag. Hanako marks her place with a slip of paper and stands up. The girls head to the counter and I return my book to what I think is the right shelf. Yuko scans Hanako's book with practiced precision, yet still manages to fumble it. Oh, there we go. Third time lucky. Since this is a non-fiction book, you can only have it for a week. But that's okay. Yuko shuts down the library's computer and herds us out the door. Ah, I didn't think it was this late already. But you're the one that told us you had to close. Yes, but I know, but that was before I looked at the time. I'll see you later. Yuko bolts down the hall, her handbag trailing behind her like an awkward streamer. Streamer, yeah. I guess all librarians really are neurotic. Huh? Never mind, I was just thinking that I've never met a librarian that can organise their time, no matter how good they are with their books. Oh, I know what you mean. Hanako smiles in amusement. It wasn't meant to be a joke, but I must have reminded her of some other librarian or something. Yeah, don't think that's it. I have to get back. Yeah, me too. I didn't realise it was this late. Thanks for letting me hang out with you. No problem. I'm going to my dormitory room now anyway, so do you mind if I tag along? Okay. Hanako sets off ahead of me and I need to jog a little to reach her side. We walk through the gardens, eventually arriving in front of the dorm buildings. Man, you walk pretty fast. I used to play in a soccer club and you managed to outpace me. I kinda regret saying that. It has less to do with her pace than with the fact that my condition has significantly worsened my fitness. Hanako's reaction is odd. I expected an awkward attempt to downplay her walking speed, but she just blushes while looking at her feet and smiling. Silence hangs in the air between us. That happens often around Hanako, but feels slightly different than usual this time. After a few seconds, I try to break the silence, but before I break the silence, I take a drink. And now that I have no drink left, I break the silence. Here you go. See you in class tomorrow? Sure. Hanako disappears into thin air before pushing her way through the dorm's doors. I stand and look at them for a while before making my way to my own dormitory room. Oh yeah. Katawa Shoujo. Chirping birds. Normally this would be a good time to reflect upon the beauty of nature. But it's 6 AM. Covering my head with the pillow, I slime my face into the mattress, hoping that the impact will send me instantly back to sleep. Futile. I toss and turn, but sleep simply won't return to me. Alright nature, you've won. See, I'm getting up now. The lack of sleep weighs my mind down, and there's only one remedy for this, a nice hearty breakfast. It would be nice to be the first person here, to be the first to dig into a piping hot pile of food, to sit wherever I desire. It would have been nice. Wait, 6 AM and you're having breakfast? What time do they start cooking breakfast? I feel sorry for the cooks. 6 AM you're getting up. That means the cooks probably have to get up at 4:30? 5, depending on what they're cooking. God damn, and you think you've got it bad, Hisao. But even my exceptionally early start has put me behind the most diligent students. I guess there are quite a few people that have early starts here, for one reason or another. A group of students in sports clothes huddle around one table, eagerly discussing game plans in between inhaling great gulps of food. Gulps. Scattered around the hall are a number of bleary-eyed students, probably suffering from the same ailment as myself, noisy birds. And of course, there are the people that actually enjoy getting up this early. The ones with their bags stuffed with textbooks and completed homework, like Shizune. It's not hard to despise people like that, even more so when you're tired yourself. Picking out a familiar face from the thin crowd, I head towards the nearest table. Lily sits alone, delicately feeling her way around a small plate of eggs with her fork. It's almost a shame to interrupt her with her clockwork movements. I wonder, is this how a blind person zones out, simply moving in predetermined patterns learned over the years, just like how sighted people would... I'll start that again. Just like how a sighted person would eat while reading a newspaper? Good morning, Lily. I didn't expect you to be here this early. Oh, Hisao, you startled me. I didn't know you took breakfast this early. I don't. This is an exception to the rule. I'd greatly prefer to be late to school than early to breakfast. Lily gives a small sigh at my admitted tardiness as I begin eating my food. It doesn't take long for her to lapse back into her previous mindless nibbling. Each short motion lacks energy. I suppose this is similar to letting your eyes wander while performing an ordinary chore. But after a few repetitions of the find food eat food cycle, Lily puts down her fork and dabs her lips with a napkin. Hisao, do you mind if I ask you a question? Damn, all I want is a little food, about 4 hours sleep, and nobody says, can I ask you a question for a simple question? Sure. Do you think of Hanako as a friend? Huh? This seems like a leading question. I guess so. Why do you ask? No real reason. I do have another question though. Why is it that you think of her as a friend? This is well above my level. What is she expecting from me? I'm not really sure. I guess it's because she's a little different in the way that she deals with people. Since I've known her, she hasn't really connected with anyone. She doesn't seem interested in other people, and I think people are a little scared off by by her appearance. God damn. Really? I thought that kind of thing was, well, discouraged here, discriminating and such. If I were to put it one way, she furrows her brow in thought, a move which makes me slightly anxious as to what she's plucking from her mind. I'd say that you are a little naive. Naive? I'd be insulted if not for the slightly cynical grin on your face. I see. While Yamaku has a stronger sense of community compared to other schools, it's far from being free of conflict. Rules cannot remove human nature, after all, only suppress it. That's a good line. I'm gonna remember that. Rules cannot remove human nature, after all, only suppress it. Write that shit down. That's something I've noticed actually. Just little things, like how certain people in cliques avoid each other in hallways. It's no different than my old school, really. Even Lily and Shizune could be considered bitter rivals, even though they both seem like fairly accepting people. Well, at least the Misha-tinted Shizune does. Who knows what actually goes on with her fingers and behind her glasses. I guess you're right, but when I first came here, everything was a bit of a shock. I kept on making mistakes, or at least thinking I was making mistakes. Like when we first met and I said, I see, to you. I didn't know if that was considered rude or anything, so I tried to just put it in the back of my mind, treating people any differently and that kind of thing. So I didn't. I told myself that Hanako and you were everyone else was just normal, and I tried to ignore the obvious. I talked to Hanako as if she were any other person, and so we became friends. At least that's how I think it happened. But you know, I feel guilty just from saying something like that aloud, as if it took extra effort to think of Hanako or you or anyone here as normal people. I don't think that's right. You just said this was well above your level, that question, and you managed to knuckle that question right in the butt. I need a cough. Hisao, I think you are naive, but I also think you are a good person. It is perhaps one of your better traits. I suppose I can take that as a compliment. Tell me, are you free tonight? Are you asking me out on a date? If you don't count homework, then I'm as free as the breeze. In that case, would you care to join myself and Hanako for tea? I don't really have that much money at the moment, so going out isn't really... Oh, I didn't mean going out, just here, this evening. You can access the classrooms in the evening here? No, that's not what I meant. Hanako and I often use my rooms for tea parties together. Please feel free to drop by after dusk. Oh yeah! Sure, I see no problem with that. What's your room number? 225, room 25 on the second floor. Okay, sure. Well then, I had best be off. I have class representative duties to attend to after all. I really hope my computer isn't going to crash because that just lagged like hell. Oh, that's not good. Until this evening, Hisao. Yeah, catch you later. Okay, this isn't good. Yeah. I'm gonna end that part there. I apologise if it's a bit shorter than the other ones, but my computer is lagging up a storm. Yeah, that just took like 5 seconds to bring up the menu. Okay guys, I really hope this hasn't lagged my voice or anything, but yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next part. Bye.